I have found the dumbest, most stupid and most pointless conspiracy theory of ever. Hang on to your hats, get your face palm protection. This one is a doozy. I have found and shared all sorts of weird, wonderful and stupid things like out of focus stars, giant fossilised giant's lungs, fake moon, all sorts of things, many of which could be regarded as cruel and unusual punishment. But don't blame me, you have my patrons to thank for that. With massive thanks and appreciation to all my patrons, including new patrons Sharpworks, Ex-Penguin95, Stephen York, Uwe Closer, Wee Scott's Dog, Marconius, Jason Utting, Kevin Seidel and Doc Brew, and my latest patron Marius. Thank you all so very much. So Mr. John Le Bon, why don't you tell us what we're looking at today? Roll VT.
So what we're looking at today is this theory.
Yes.
That toucans are a hoax.
What the hell?
And I know that sounds crazy, but bear with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see that I'm not here to tell you that toucans are a hoax.
Oh, my mistake.
But I've been looking into this theory, and it's not quite as crazy as it sounds.
No, that's as crazy as playing Russian roulette with a machine gun.
So bear with me, everybody. I'm not here to tell you that toucans are a hoax, but I'm also not here to say that toucans are definitely real. These people promoting the toucan hoax theory, I think what a lot of them are suggesting is not that all toucans are a hoax, but that some of them in museums or in zoos or in exotic aviaries, that they've been faked.
Why would you fake some of them? If you've got an exotic aviary and toucans with the big beaks are real, why wouldn't you have a real toucan with a real big beak?
Because today we're looking at the evidence.
Well, that's going to be good.
Toucan hoax theory. When did you first hear of the toucan hoax theory?
Probably a month ago. It tied in with other hoax animals, but probably about a month ago. Someone on Discord mentioned it, that they're just, they mentioned that the beaks are a hoax.
Well, job done then, if someone on Discord mentioned it.
And 4 days ago, somebody posted this thread called Toko toucans are fake.
Conspiracies, eh? We've got Watergate, we've got the second gunman in the shooting of Kennedy, we've got NASA faking moon landings, and we've got prosthetic beaks on toucans.
Then they say that the Toko toucan and the keel-billed toucan are what they're referring to as hoaxes. To clarify, the adult toucan with the colourful oversized beak, think Fruit Loops mascot, isn't real.
Not real.
So what was your first impression of the toucan hoax theory?
I actually believed it because I've already been inundated with other hoaxes. So I'm like, okay, this isn't surprising. But I did check it out.
Exactly. That's the danger in just believing conspiracy crap. You take on board everything and just accept it with no evidence.
All the evidence points to it being a hoax. The beaks are a hoax. On the big, ridiculous beaks are a hoax on the toucans.
Well, here's where they got me. Here's how they sucked me in with this post on this subreddit. The first link they gave, their first piece of evidence, was of a toucan trying to eat an egg. So I went ahead and I watched it. And the truth of the matter is, I don't think I've ever seen a toucan in real life.
So you have never seen a toucan, but you're prepared to accept that they're fake. You show a clip of a video with something that very much looks exactly like a toucan is supposed to look like, and it flies. But you think it's fake.
And so I'm going to play this for the viewers at home, and if you want to follow along, I've got the thread posted in the call-specific chat. So I'm just watching this video from toucan.tv of this toucan bird, and straight away when I was watching, I thought, hold on, is that what a toucan is supposed to look like?
So not having seen a real one before, you're not even sure what they look like, and yet you somehow think you're qualified to judge if they're fake or not.
Because this beak does look a little bit silly. I mean, look at that.
No, the beak doesn't look silly. It just looks larger than the vast majority of other birds. For a toucan, It's absolutely correct.
Yeah, it literally looks like they just glued it onto the beak. That's what got me with it, because you just look at it and it doesn't even look like it attaches properly.
Glued it on. Firstly, do you think a bird would sit there and allow a humongous beak suddenly to be glued onto its head? And secondly, would it then be able to fly? I think not, mon capitaine.
It looks like they've bought a size too large, and they're like, well, it's what we've got. The bird's not big enough, but we're going to stick it on there anyway.
Hello, is that prosthetic toucan Beaks R Us? Yeah, I placed an order and it's the wrong size. Can you send me a replacement, please? Yeah, I can just see that happening.
And then what I found bizarre was watching the footage. The bird does seem to be struggling to eat the egg. So it's trying to eat the egg. And this looks like a soft-boiled egg. So this should be a very easy thing for this bird. If this is a bird that exists like this in nature, this is easier food to eat than a lot of other things might be.
Unfortunately, the bird that does exist like that in nature doesn't go around hunting hard-boiled eggs. You complete knobsocket.
Truth of the matter is, this does look like it's a very suspicious animal. But just because it looks suspicious doesn't mean that it's fake.
A suspicious animal.
There are many suspicious animals out there.
Yes, like giraffes. I mean, how could you trust an animal with such a long neck? And emus, I don't trust them at all. They're birds, they got feathers, they got wings, but they pretend not to fly. I think that's quite suspicious. And what about crocodiles and alligators? They spend their time trying to hide just under the surface of the water, and then before you know it, they've snuck into your home, pretending to be a handbag. Yep, you cannot trust these deceitful, suspicious animals.
So what was their next piece of evidence, Senpai? Well, their next one was that their beaks look completely different from baby to adult. So let's take a look at those photos. I'm looking at these now on the screen. So we've got what appear to be baby toucans, and their beaks are normal. I mean, they're still large compared to a lot of birds, sure, but they look far more proportionate to the animal than the adult. Let's take a look at the adult. It looks like a totally different beak, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's completely different. Completely different.
Let's have a look at your baby toucans. You say the beak is more in proportion. Look at the size of those feet. Well, let's compare it again with an adult. And you're right, the beak does look very different. So what about a juvenile, a young toucan? Well, you can see his beak is somewhat in between the beak of the baby toucan and the adult toucan. And he's just starting to develop the markings. They grow, and as they grow, they change. This isn't difficult.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Why am I not bleeding surprised?
Like I said, it looks like it's literally attached, but not a good attachment. Not like how you'd expect in nature, where it should connect. It doesn't look like there's a good connection on it.
Well, all you have to do is show us a little video of a toucan where his beak falls off. Don't worry, I'll wait.
I've gone from thinking this is a comical, sometimes people post things and maybe they mean them or they don't mean them. Sometimes it's funny just to entertain these ideas and then be like, well, I entertained it, I looked at it, and it's kind of funny. It's a funny, that'd be a funny story if someone did have fake toucans where they pasted on prosthetic beaks. It'd be sad for the bird, obviously, but as an idea, it's a funny idea. That's how this started off to me. But then when I started looking at these dot points, I'm thinking, hold on a second, Senpai, there could be something to this.
No, there couldn't be something to this. This is the stupidest conspiracy of ever.
What if these beaks grow a little bit bigger, but then some jokers come along, some pranksters, some hoaxsters, and they just glue a prosthetic onto the real beak? So this hoax theory isn't suggesting that the whole beak concept has been just put there and there used to be a mouth. No, there is a beak, but someone or some people, for whatever reason, and we're going to discuss that later in this chat, might be coming along and adding prosthetics for the visual effect, for the aesthetic effect, paste a much larger, more colourful beak onto the natural smaller beak. Yeah?
Well, this unexplainable hoax must have been going on for some time, because toucans were first described by a German zoologist called Philipp Ludwig Statius Müller in 1776.
And then, if you're cool with this, Senpai, we're going to talk about some other animal hoaxes that I know that you've looked into. Give the audience a bit of a teaser. What are some of your favourite animal hoax theories?
Fake gorillas in the zoo, animatronic sloths, and anglerfish are a hoax are my favorite ones.
Fake gorillas, animatronic sloths, and anglerfish are a hoax. I think we need to draw a line under this now. Let's just assume for a moment, going back to our toucans, that since 1776, someone has been underhandedly sticking fake beaks on toucans. To what end? I mean, what is the bleeding point in that? I mean, is some zoological society getting paid $52 million a day by the American government and they want to keep it quiet? Is it some atheistic effort to hide the creator? Or is it more the case that you conspiratard nuts are a mindless bunch of jerks who'll be first against the wall when the revolution comes? I wouldn't be surprised if you next release a video about cows and how they are a hoax due to size issues. Let me head you off by explaining.
These cows are very small, and these cows are far away.
Until next time, stay sensible.
Shut up and sit down.